You are on the rant chair, which is for $5. I will rant about a topic of your choice. Click the link in the description to request a rant. This one comes from Epsilon Eagle, and he asked me to rant about the new GTA 6 trailer that came out like 2 weeks ago, a week ago. So, kind of an old hat. Now, for the type of player I am, there actually wasn't too much to glean from of interest in that trailer for me. Rockstar did say it was equal parts gameplay and cinematics, whatever the hell that means. Whatever gameplay was in there obviously was shot with a cinematic camera angle of some kind, so it was really hard to tell really what was gameplay. Now, my main takeaway that sort of made me happy with this trailer is that it definitely felt a lot less irreverent in its tone. That is something I really did not enjoy about GTA 5, that it just takes the piss out of everything. It never takes itself seriously at all, and at the same time has all this downtime, all this set piece bullshit in service of a story that is extremely dumb. In this game, in 6, I got much more of a sense of melancholy. Okay, these characters, Lucia and Jason, they're much more troubled. They just want a decent life, you know. If they actually stick to that tone, if they commit to that, I think I'll enjoy that way more, even if it has a lot of the downtime that I don't enjoy. With Red Dead 2 was kind of similar, where even though I have a lot of criticisms with that game, at least it was in service of a story that felt substantive and mature, right? So that's my one takeaway that feels pretty solid. As far as my wishes for GTA 6, I just want them to take the mission design way back to basics, especially now that I've played GTA 3 and Vice City for the first time. In those games, you had the peak of those games is, yeah, they just put a couple guys, a couple AI enemies on the map in cars or whatever, and then you just chase them down, right? And then you let the systems do the work. You have to interact with traffic. You have to weave through all these dynamic obstacles. A lot of weird shit can happen. You ram guys off the road. That's where the mechanics are at their best. Not when you introduce some fucking dumb gimmick or some weird minigame or some other restriction with every single mission, which is what is currently happening with San Andreas, right? I'm playing that for the first time. And as much as like I appreciate the scope and the scale and the ambition of that game, it's really not playing to its own strengths at all. And especially if I just think about, goddamn, the drive-by mechanic in 3 and Vice City was so damn fun. Especially, I talked about this. I wrote a little review for GTA 3 on my backlog, and the way I have the nearest controller I have here right now is the game controller, where I can't actually accurately show this. The way this works on the Xbox port, original Xbox, is that you click the right stick to shoot, and then you aim left or right, like to the left or right of your vehicle, to shoot in that direction and to look in that direction at the same time. So in a car, you can submachine gun fire to the left or right, and then on a bike, you can also fire forward. And that just was such a simple, elegant way of handling that, and that felt so fucking satisfying. And as much as I like GTA 4, I do expect it to hold up much better than San Andreas once I revisit it. I do think they really overcomplicated the drive-by controls, and it just doesn't feel nearly as satisfying to do vehicular combat in that game. I don't really expect them to redesign this aspect. I don't really expect them to make this more arcadey. But yeah, I did really enjoy that in 3 and Vice City. I enjoyed that really unique blend of arcadey mechanics with a lot of sort of systemic dynamic interactions. Now, obviously the big point with this trailer that everybody paid attention to is the graphics and the lighting, especially, where they're really leveraging all the new technologies with this generation of consoles. RTGI, first and foremost, ray trace global illumination. And it does look incredible in that way. It does look like a pretty insane step up. And a really good vindication of the technology. To be honest, I'm really annoyed with the discourse right now around this sort of thing. There's a lot of things that people are unhappy with games right now from a technical side. Especially if you look at stuff like just PC ports and development budgets, that sort of shit. There's a lot of understandable, and like just the prices of hardware, right? There's a lot of understandable ire, but then that is leveled at new technologies in a just totally nonsensical way. And there's something I'm going to talk about on stream today at the time of this recording. You'll probably see this video before I stream, so look out for that. Yeah. I don't know if GTA 6 will be the thing that makes people get it. Okay, why is ray tracing such a big innovation? Why is it such a net positive for developers? And net positive for game graphics as well. I do think there's an element of, okay, people are looking at it and they're impressed on a sort of surface level, but obviously they don't really understand what's going on under the surface. Also the jiggle physics, dude. The BBL technology in this game is crazy. Yeah, that's all I got. I forgot one thing. I was stuck thinking with the new trailer, but the actual thing that caught my eye was way back in the first trailer. There was a shot of a beach with a bunch of NPCs running around. And it's sort of, for me, back to the question, okay, is this a keyframed animation? Or is this something that I can actually interact with in gameplay? Will I be able to walk around on this beach and the people will move and behave in this convincingly of a manner? I think something about the way they presented that scene really captures your imagination. Somehow you don't file it off as just a cutscene. It somehow feels like, oh, this could be more, maybe, potentially. I don't know if that's the case. It could just be a cutscene, and then you have these very, just like every other open world game, you have these pretty sort of janky looking interactions, right? I love GTA 4 a lot. I've mentioned that before. I have a huge appreciation for how that game pushed forward its pedestrian simulation. I actually did a presentation for that in school as well. It's kind of remarkable just how detailed and dynamic that game was, how sort of fine grade the interactions could be in that game. And honestly, on a surface level, I mean, there's so many videos about this that GTA 5 kind of feels like a downgrade in terms of how they use the Euphoria technology, all that shit. I remember people saying that Red Dead 2 was more convincing, but then at the same time, I think because it's a much more sparse game, not nearly as dense as a urban environment like GTA, you don't really feel that as much. So I'm really curious how they evolve that aspect. Pedestrian simulation. Will it be an evolution from GTA 4? Will it take inspiration from that game? Will it push it forward? We'll see.